People expected Madam Web to be a cringe fest. They expected it to be bad. From the first trailer we saw, with some of that dialogue, with some of the poor acting, and quite honestly, a movie that just felt like it didn't need to be made, felt like it was teasing these spider heroes within a universe where Spider-Man still is never referenced or doesn't actually exist in the Sony Spider-Man universe. But what we've seen, the fallout from Madam Web has been disastrous, because a lot of people, including myself, even though I thought no one would actually go see it, I thought at least that it was going to be defended by so many of the critics out there, just like we saw with the Marvels. That has not been the case. A 13% right now on Rotten Tomatoes for Madam Web, and the box office is even worse. Look at some of these box office numbers. Now, this is for the normal weekend, your Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, it didn't get the benefit of the Thursday numbers because it opened on Valentine's Day. So when you look at traditional holiday or traditional weekend, that doesn't factor in. But look at Madam Web, $15 million on the opening weekend. Now, when you factor in Valentine's Day, when you factor in what they'll probably make on Monday, they're estimating about a $26 million 6-day opening weekend for Madam Web. Madam Web crawls near $26 million over a 6-day holiday frame. This is embarrassingly pathetic for this movie. Compare it to something like Morbius. Morbius, which only made $162 million worldwide. Opening weekend, let's go to this number. Opening weekend made $39 million. You're talking about something that is, for its normal kind of opening, not factoring in the 6-day shit, is less than half of that. I was joking with people who said, oh, it's probably not going to make $100 million. I said, I'm sure it'll make $100 million. I'm sure it'll crawl past $100 million. This legitimately might not make $100 million. That's actually realistic at this point. With a less than $50 million opening weekend globally at the box office, Madam Web is in worse shape than anyone could have possibly thought. And now people are seeing why. There's clips that are starting to come out. We've seen Dakota Johnson, what she said. It's actually been pretty funny to watch her entire press tour, because it seems like she doesn't give a fuck. But clips are starting to come out from this, from people that didn't watch the movie and realize that, like, this is actually what they did in the movie. Yes, it is. For people who haven't seen Madam Web, so don't get how bad it is, this is how the final battle with the villain ends. The editing, camera work, and dialogue is atrocious. My God. Also, bro just falls. I'm going to pause it a couple times so we don't get fucked here. That is an actual zoom in, like that they do the fucking zoom in there. The cinematography is wild in this movie. And I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you that, you know, in the theater, the effects look a little bit better or something like that. I can't tell you that. I wish I could tell you that. I can't. And you gotta get your Pepsi Cola. Maybe that offsets some of the stuff they spent with the marketing. I don't know. And I like even the editing. Like, he goes like this to cover up, but then when they show the next shot, he's just sitting there, fucking dead ass, staring straight up. This is how, like, this is the climax of the movie right here. There's way worse shit in it. But now that people are actually starting to see these clips coming out, they realize why it's getting mocked and ridiculed so badly. And as bad as the Marvels was, and I would rewatch Madam Web in a heartbeat because I think it's funnier to laugh at than the Marvels. But the Marvels scoring $200 million, that thing's going to lose like $300 million when it's all said and done for Disney. But if we have like the second straight superhero movie bomb at the box office, and this one doesn't even reach $100 million, I get that it's the Sony Spider-Man universe. It's not the, you know, mainline MCU, the Disney MCU. But what that means for superhero movies, and you already see a bunch of people out in force with pronouns in their bios, things like that, that are already bitching about, this is set female superhero movies back a decade, blah, blah, blah. Don't make dog shit. Stop making dog shit. Stop having incompetent people that are hired strictly because of their gender or whatever make dog shit. That is what happened with the Marvels. Seems to be that's what happened with Madam Web. This thing is a nightmare. and it's legitimately just getting mocked by everyone, even seemingly some of the people that are involved in it. If you listen to some of the things Dakota Johnson has said in the press tour for it, it's pretty fucking funny. And I don't think a lot of people that are involved with this are very happy with what's gone on. We know Dakota Johnson fired her agent. We know her and Sydney Sweeney tagged Marvel Studios when Marvel Studios was not actually part of this movie being made. This was a Sony thing. So I feel like they're probably a little bit upset about what happened. I wouldn't be surprised in the next coming weeks and months, we start to hear some things about people that were involved in this, about how things change and how upset they are with the way this is being received. Madam Web breaking all sorts of records in all the wrong ways. A complete and total box office failure.